Cool. Hey guys, just holding a bit of a live stream just to show some of the editing process. Give you guys a chance to ask any questions if you want. This is tomorrow night's episode. I'm getting ready for, so this will be episode 90, I think. So yeah, so I'm editing tomorrow night's episode, so episode 90. I am just trying to get everything done. If you guys got any questions about the editing, I will try my best to answer them. While I get the job done. Hey Kazza, how you going, mate? Thanks for coming on. Thanks, Christine. Cheers to that. Hey Nigel, hey, or is it Nigel? Nigel. How you going? Actually, I'm just so I'm just cutting tomorrow night's episode of the Bush Bee Man, so episode 90. So I'm just, hey Dunstan, hey Tom, thanks Tom. Yeah, so I'm just cutting tomorrow night's episode, so episode 90. So this is the spring splits we did about a month ago, I think. So yeah, when we took the queen excluder out of the off the brood chamber. Yeah, so then I'm just cutting this. So I use Premiere using the Creative Suite. I find that the interactions between Premiere, After Effects, Photoshop is really handy. So anyway, I'm gonna keep cutting. Hey, that's awesome. Buffalo, New York. That's fantastic. So I'm just going to keep cutting. I'll have a look at the questions periodically when I can, and then I'll answer a couple of them. Yeah, any behind-the-scenes questions or any questions about the editing, the filming process, anything like that, I'm happy to answer. So I'm just going to try and smash this out as quickly as I can for a little bit. Hey, Pete, thank you. Thanks, Dunstan. All good. There's a fair few now. We've got 89 episodes up, so this is episode 90, so it can take a little while to catch up. But yeah, I'll just keep cutting a little bit of this, and then I'll answer some of your questions.
Too early in spring to actually split the hives anyway, but it's a good time to have a bit of a look and get a bit.
So Dad's really good at peaking when he talks on camera. He peaks. He goes dramatically from one level to another, so it's about
have a bit of a look and get a bit of a
leveling out audio at the right levels. So then also it doesn't blow your eardrums when you guys are listening at home, because that would suck. It's not something I want to do to you guys, but everything, Pete. What do you mean? Sorry.
To have a bit of a look and get a bit of a feel for where.
As in, everything, as in, wanting to
get a bit of a feel
questions about everything. But yeah, anyway, I'll keep editing, and then I'll check the questions every now and again.
How they got through the winter now.
Thanks, being charming. That's awesome.
A bit busier. A bit busier. Pretty little ladies all in a row.
So yeah, sing out with any questions. I'm happy to answer them about the editing process or any other questions about making the episodes. So just sing out.
Yeah, they're that bloody busy. Good thing about this time of year, they're that bloody busy they don't even know that we're here. These girls carried a bit of honey forward. So
Yeah,
That's
Be
good.
Charming. I it's taken years of doing it over and over and over before. It's like anything. It's like beekeeping. It's like
That's good.
any other skill. Just takes practice, and you just get used to it and get quicker. Yeah, there's I think that's
So we'll just have a
something.
a bit of a digger.
I think that's the thing about editing is it's reasonably involved. And I think that's something that you don't want editing to be noticed. That's the big thing about editing is you don't want it to be noticed. If it's noticed in a good way, that's cool. I guess that's the tricky thing about editing. You don't want it to be noticed. You want it to be streamlined, perfect, that you don't actually notice it. So then you're doing your job really well if people don't realize that it's overly edited. And that's something I try not to over-edit this show either. That's the other thing that we try to do is trying to keep it natural as well, so then you don't feel like... It feels really candid, which I think hopefully it does. But yeah, and Kristen, yeah, it's super time consuming. I probably spend at least 4 hours at a minimum on an episode editing on the back end, because you go through and you do the cut, and then you go through and you have to fine cut it. Then at this point I'm doing all the audio levels, so making sure everything's at the right level, so then when Dad gets really loud, it doesn't blow your eardrums out if you're wearing, say you're wearing headphones, or even if you're listening on speakers. So there's a lot of fine tuning to get it. And I mean, I'm blessed because Dad's really good on camera talent, so it's not too tricky to get Dad sounding and looking good. It's just a matter of like the build videos are probably the most intense. They will end up with 2 hours of footage from those for a 15-minute episode, so it's a lot of windling down and getting what's needed. But when you're building those kind of build videos, anything can happen, so it's kind of important to film it all, but it becomes a bit of a nightmare when you go to edit. So yeah, it's cool. I hope it's giving you a bit of insight, Christine. I'll just go back on some of the comments. Sorry if I wobble the camera a little bit. Just doing this on my mobile phone. Thanks, Amy. I really appreciate that. And to Meds, hey, from Texas. That's awesome. Yeah, so... Whoop. The old rooster dribbles gold. Sure does.
I'm a bit of a digger out.
Yeah, he's brilliant. I have always wanted to do something with Dad.
Putting a bit of brood up the top or not.
And it was a matter of finding a project that he was going to stick with, because at one point he was planning to farm fish, so that was interesting, but I just didn't trust that he was going to stick with it, which is fair enough. I mean, it was good fun to watch him do it. I think he got to eat one fish out of the whole exercise. But beekeeping in the sense, because it was tied to the farm.
It is, so that should be good. These girls.
And my grandma and grandpa, because they're part of the trust, they had to help finance it. So it was one of those things where this is a project where I knew Dad had to stick with it, because it was other people had invested time and money into it. So it was the Dad had to stick with it. So that's why we chose that project. So yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
Premiere Pro is fantastic. Premiere I find works really well with the Creative Suite. You can go from Premiere to After Effects to Photoshop really easily, and makes streamlining edit and compositing and any other graphics you need done really easily. So for the corporate stuff, it's great, especially when you've got clients that want to change stuff all the time, and you can just go and quickly modify bits and pieces.
Good.
So
These girls should go in.
anyway, I'm going to keep editing for a bit so that we get this episode done, so it can be up tomorrow. But yeah, sing out if you got any questions.
There you go. Really know. Really know. Maybe that plan didn't really work out. Anyway, it did work out in a way.
Name of the program. Thanks, Trevor. Cheers to that, mate. Yeah, the name of the program I'm using is Premiere, Adobe Premiere. It's part of the Creative Suite, along with After Effects and Photoshop. So yeah, that's the program I'm using, and I find that it's reasonably stable. It's really come a long way in the last 10 years, and kind of really, in a way, I reckon, taken over Avid. And since Apple's not servicing Final Cut Pro like they used to, this kind of become
so we're still going to have to prove
the most affordable but best thing to use.
Still going to have to prove the bottom brood box. So we're still going to have to prove the bottom brood box apart. Maybe we'll find. Hopefully we'll find one that's actually done what I hoped it would do. Okay, you guys are angry, aren't you?
Oh, sorry guys, I'm just reading a comment. Oh, that's awesome. I'm really glad that you look forward to watching our episodes every week. Yeah, I something I really love about our audience is that they're enjoying watching the videos as much as we enjoy making them, which is unique sometimes. You don't always get that kind of satisfaction. So, yeah, it's awesome that you guys are enjoying it as much as we are enjoying making it. So, yeah, thank you guys for supporting us. I really appreciate it.
These girls are a bit more excited. Have a look what you girls are up to. Let's have a look what you girls. Have a look what you girls are up to. Hey. Oh, full of almond blossom. Here's what I was looking for. So they've come up. So they've come up into this area here where they've decided that they're going to make some brood. So the queen's come up and made a bit of a circle. It's over here a bit too. But if they've actually formed a bit of a nucleus. So they've actually formed a bit of a nucleus circle like that in the middle of the box, which is really cool. Which is really cool. And then my plan is that the ones that have done that, we'll just take the top box. Just take the top box off. We'll just take the top box off. Take the top box. Just take the top box off, and put a separating board in the middle, and then this box will become its own.
So yeah, fire away if you guys have got any questions. Always happy to answer.
Nest, and so with the bottom. And so with the bottom box will become its own nest. And then they'll make a new queen in the one that hasn't got one. If we... Depends on, we might get really excited and find the queen, and, you know, we'll know. I get really excited and find the queen, and, you know, we'll know which box she's in then. But either way, a little bit later on, they'll make a new queen. At the moment, that's all capped brood, so...
Well, you guys, my question for you guys, are you enjoying the bonus episodes? Taking some of those really nice long time lapses and extending them out, giving them some really nice music, just to give people some extra stuff to watch, give you some time to really appreciate the bees, because sometimes with the pacing of the episode we have to cut back. I have to cut back some of the montages and time lapses just so then it doesn't over bloat the episode. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the more extended versions of some of those cooler shots.
At the moment that's all capped brood, so it's no good to anybody. At the moment that's all capped brood, so it's no good to anybody. So it's no good to anybody for making queens. Anyway, that's a nice bit of brood going on there. Here we are. They're just making a few. So here we are. They're just making a few drone cells. So here we are. They're just making a few. So here we are. They're just making a few drone cells.
So yeah, with the audio, you want it to be about -6 because that
they're already capped off.
It's kind of an industry standard. You want to keep it around there so you don't
capped off. So that
overdo it, so you can have your volume normally on your device. So
they're already capped off, so they won't be far away.
The middle, yeah, that's something that's really important about video. If you are editing your own videos, make sure that the biggest pitfall people fall into, that music is always mixed to 0 dBs because they want it to be that loud. Pro's 21. I've never used it, so I'm not sure. Sorry, but yeah, you want music's mixed to 1 dB, like just mixed to 0. Sorry. So when you do cut video, if you are ever cutting video for your channel or anything like that, make sure you backdoor music back when you put it on, because that's always going to get really loud, and it'll always improve your videos if your sound is leveled out. Because last thing you want to do is have your people viewing your videos having to turn it down. So trying to
getting that one capped there.
Maintain that kind of audio level is the first step to really polishing your videos and taking them to the next level.
I'm just getting that one capped there. One there's done. One here's just getting built. Capped drones. Capped drone cells, which will be out and flying in a little while.
Oh, shivers. Sorry, guys. Wrong timeline.
Which will be out and flying in a little while. Capped drone cells, which will be out and flying in a little while, and then they'll probably make a quick.
My normal schedule is to at least have this done by Sunday. I had to work yesterday, so I had to push it out today.
So as well, because
hence why I'm still cutting tomorrow night's episode now instead of having it done already.
As well, because when they
but I did start on Thursday's episode 91. I cut this episode first. I did the rough cut because I accidentally started cutting the wrong episode, because I realized that for a continuity error, if we ran this tomorrow when we moved the bees, if we went back to this, the bees that we move are the bees from this episode, so that they wouldn't be there anymore. So I got 3/4 way through cutting Thursday's episode, what is now Thursday's episode, and I had to come back and cut this one, which is fine.
They need a boy and a girl.
It just means that for the rest of the week I'm a little bit in front, so
they're pretty bloody
clever. Could be worse.
Pretty bloody clever, and the drones take longer to make than the queens, so they make them first. So they're getting psyched up. This box is probably definitely going to swarm with the amount of population it's got going on.
So for the people watching, What's been your favourite episode, and what are the episodes that you always look forward to? The type of episodes, are they the bee rescue ones, the build videos?
Drone going, so he would have been an over.
All these kind of informative videos about bees. One question that I do have is, how much time does it take to edit the videos? I also appreciate you take the time to adjust the levels to where everything is a great mix. Cool, thank you. Yeah, that's one thing I spent a lot of time is trying to get the audio right. Make sure, because in television, if you, by law, the audio has to be a certain way. If it's over that and you get caught out, you get fined a lot of money. So yeah, coming from a TV background, that's always important. But a standard episode like this one, I've been working since about 8:30 or about 9 o'clock this morning. So it's probably I'm about 2.5 hours into this. So by the time I finish this episode, being a not intensive one, it's going to be about 4 hours. So with a build video, like I said earlier in the stream, we'll shoot 2 hours of footage per episode, and then I've got to dwindle that down to 15 minutes, and that's a lot of work. So yeah, those kind of videos take up to 6 to 7 hours to finish. But yeah, this episode and Thursday's episode is pretty run-of-the-mill, so it's not so bad.
Might have hatched early.
Awesome question. Thanks for that.
Drone going, so he would have been an overwinter drone, or
audio levels are dropped down. Why is that doing that?
There's a little drone going, so he would have. Drone going, so he would have been.
That's strange. And then my audio mix has disappeared.
There's a little drone going, so he would have been an overwinter drone, or he might have hatched early. So.
That's annoying. I'll just save it. But yeah, any other questions? I'll probably wrap it up because I'm assuming this is getting a bit boring just watching me cut the audio. But any other questions I'm happy to answer before I wrap this up. But I will definitely find a better way to film these live streams of editing if I do it again rather than just using my mobile phone. To answer your question, the bee rescues and watching bees try and come... Oh, hang on, sorry. I'll just reread the question again. Yeah, oh cool. So the bee rescue episodes, yeah, we seem to get a really good amount of views on the bee rescue stuff. So that's the episodes that seem to do really well. For whatever reason, I think they're just enjoyable. That's the thing. Not sure why this is playing up. I think I'll quit Chrome. Guess that'll give me some more memory space.
There's a little drone going, so he would have been an overwinter drone. There's a little drone going, so he would have been an overwinter drone, or he might have hatched early. So it's a bit cold for him to do a mating flight yet anyway. This might be getting excited. This might be getting...
Cool. Alright. I'm just going to pick up the camera to make sure I haven't missed anything. Questions and stuff. Feel free to bloat the videos. I'll try not to. Sometimes they seem a bit short. Yeah, sometimes it's just depending on what the content is. I guess it depends on what we're covering. And sometimes just the flow of it. So yeah, so occasionally we'll have longer episodes and sometimes they're shorter. Pete, it's not boring. Okay, I might just put it back, and if I might have to restart Premiere. So I might have to
be getting excited. This one.
Try it. Hang on. If I close the audio track panel, and if I open it again.
But yet anyway.
Yeah, it's not liking me, but it's alright.
It's a bit cold for him to do a mating flight yet.
Anyway, I won't spoil too much for this week's episode, but yeah, thanks guys for watching. Let me know in the comments if you guys want more of these kind of live streams of editing and any other questions. I have considered doing a behind the scenes video of just like the process of it all, but then it becomes tricky. How do I film us filming? But I'm going to make that might be able to help us out. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. Any last questions before I go? Is that a yes, Pete, to the behind the scenes video? Because yeah, that's something we should eventually get around to. But we're also launching a new. We're gonna. Thanks, Pete. We're gonna rearrange our Patreon and kind of revamp that. So we've got a Patreon video coming up where I tortured. I'll bring up a frame of that. I tortured Dad into making a video. I was initially in it, and then he was just being a bit of a dick, so I decided not to be in it anymore, and so he's just in it by himself, but that's alright. Yeah, so thank you guys to everybody that supports us on Patreon. You guys make a big difference. You make this happen, really, because it costs a bit of time and money, and we really enjoy doing it. We really want to keep doing it, so yeah, thank you guys for your support. You guys are making a huge difference. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the live stream. Yeah, throw any comments or questions you have in the... sorry, start that again. If you have any questions or comments you want to make, just leave them in the comment section and I'll have a read, and yeah, I'll answer any questions from behind the scenes that you have. And that's another thing, if you guys are watching episodes and you guys have any behind the scenes questions about how we did stuff, feel free to leave comments, and I'm always happy to answer behind the scenes questions. So awesome guys, thanks for watching and all your questions, and we'll see you next time.